thank you for joining us on the second episode of Designed. I'm Vivianto, and this evening I'll be speaking to Shamsul Nashriq and Fariz Hanapiah from Motiofixo, which is an ideas agency from Kuala Lumpur. And joining us later on the show is our special guest, Ashley Yiin, a young talent behind the Living Food menu. Now, a little bit of info about what Motiofixo is truly about. Motiofixo is an agency of ideas and a motion graphics studio co-founded by Shamsul, Fariz and Idril Mihat in 2007. All three of them met during their studies in Multimedia University with specialties in the areas of graphics, projection mapping, video productions, and anything related to new media. We are glad to have Shamsul, the Managing Director, and Fariz, Executive Creative Director from Motiofixo, on this show today to walk us through on how entrepreneurship and youth leadership can make a difference in managing a creative team. Good evening, Fariz and Shamsul.
Good evening. Hi.
Hi.
I understand that running a studio is a challenge to many designers out there. Why did you set up Motiofixo and how did you do it? Perhaps Shamsul can answer that?
Well, thank you for having me here tonight. It is really hard. I mean, the thought of setting up a studio is really, it's really big. It's a really big thing for young people like us, right?
Yeah, used to be young.
Yeah, but used to be young, but
Still young.
Yeah, still young. But we, when kita dah buat, then it's not as hard as you think. It's just
A bit
break
of push.
that barrier, break the wall, and then you'll see a very beautiful view out there.
I guess during the start, we didn't even think about having a studio. It's all about doing what you like to do, and how we're going to do that is by setting up studio. It's like a secondary thing, but the priority is always to create stuff. And when I met my partners, it's all about I think that we could work together, three of us, and we could produce nice stuff. So hence the birth of Motiofixo.
I mean, it's amazing enough that even after 7 years, three of you are still together. And it's growing,
Kind
it's
of
getting
married.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But do you still remember the first time ever three of you sat down and decided to name the company?
Oh, that was
That was really easy though. So
Yeah.
quite surprisingly. I mean, when people ask her, how did Motiofixo name came about, and then it's just easy. We just asked Fariz, and he came up with the name.
What does
As
it
easy
mean?
as that.
well, because during the early days, it's all about doing motion graphics. So there's two words actually. There's motion and fix. So we fix the motion for you just to fancy it up. It's like Motiofixo. It's like yeah.
does sound-
but to us, the name initially the name was not that important at that time.
Yeah.
As long as we have a name, we just want to do stuff.
Yeah.
It does sound like Mojo Jojo to me.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
got the attitude in there.
But
We had
people-
one client calling us the Mojos for I don't know, for some odd reason.
and
but-
we have funny stories that clients would always mispronounce our company, like Motiofixo or Motiofixo.
But along the way, we took it as we take it as a good ice breaking session, because when how to pronounce a name, and then this is how we pronounce.
we had
our-
a list of mispronunciations by clients. We
For
used to have
example,
Motiofixo.
Motiofixo.
Yeah, we had a call. Is this Motiofixo?
But the
Like,
most common one is motion fix,
Yeah,
motion
which is
fix and-
quite irritating sometimes, but it's all right.
Yeah.
that's the root word of the company, right? Motion fix.
Yeah, they found out about our root word. Yeah.
So when
Amazing.
in 2007, three of you set up Motiofixo, were you still studying?
We have graduated for about more or less a year. It has been around. Three of us has been around for during the study times, doing our freelance stuff. But each of us, after graduating, we had our own day jobs, and we kind of
What have been the kind of jobs or projects that you have been doing for the past 7 years?
that's a long list.
But then, how do these projects come about? Did you go out looking for it? Or they just come to you because they spotted you online, they know your talent?
But when we started out, we sort of positioned ourselves as motion graphics company. So when we were talking about motion graphics, we talk about corporate videos, we talk about changing the whole typical corporate video thing, and then from there we sort of try to reinvent ourselves. So we always reinvent ourselves. So at that time, we position ourselves as a motion graphics company, and then when motion graphics has been bombarded by within the scene, then we sort of reinvent ourselves to a visual communication company. And then when visual communication has been bombarded again, then we took our to the ideas agency.
Okay.
So that's how we always reinvent ourselves
we
and
adapt to
try to be different in a way,
yeah.
but actually it's all the same thing.
So I guess let me put it this way. You started off by being well known for your skills, but now you want to be doing more on the conceptual part of the business. Is that right?
Yeah, in
Because
a way.
right
yes,
now you have been in the business for now. Back then was really just skills, and now you have to manage 21 staff.
Yeah.
When did that happen? That you tell yourself, look, we cannot be working on this by 3 of us now. We need to have more and more designers to do this for our clients.
Yes, as the demand grows, you're basically working like 24/7, and you can't be doing that all the time. So having I would say colleagues and actually building up this family of Motiofixo really helped each other in in easing, and also in terms of idea contributions. So the way we look for talents is to try to look for diverse skill sets, and also not only on technical skills, but also able to produce ideas. So all of us in Motiofixo are able to produce ideas, not only doing good in technical.
And we have always wanted to nurture new talent. So whenever we do our recruitment, the skills are just a few percentage of it, but the human side of it, the commitment, the dedication, that matters a lot to us.
Well, that comes to the next question. How would you know that this person that you are hiring are the one that you are looking for? Do you go through a rigorous process of selecting the talent? For example, do you offer internship?
Internship is the best way of finding out what exactly the guy or the girl has to offer lah. And I think most of our staff today is being recalled from the internship and become full-timers. So I think internship helped a lot. And also during the internship, it's like how do we detect like potential and stuff, is that the chemistry when they are inside the team, and how they actually talk to each other, and how they work amongst the current team. So that is a big part of the consideration as well.
And we also look into how the commitment wise. So whenever we have an interview, we sort of identify his opinions or her opinions about things, and we'll see how how the response like, and then if
we even ask like who's your favorite musician, and just to see where their exposure is at,
and we always look for energized type of people. So it's not like low self-esteem type of people to work with us.
Well, Motiofixo does a lot of projects, video productions for celebrities and musicians, right? Then you were saying that the talents that you hire have got to have at least a bit of knowledge in music. Is that really important? What if you come across a talent who does not have a knowledge in music, but do you think he or she will be able to fit into the culture?
That's one criteria. There's a lot more than just music. I think, it all depends on which area you want to master. So it's just an extra features that we would probably want to see in our staff.
Fariz, you are always seen doing things. Many things.
Really?
Yes, since I've known you. And for like 5 years ago?
Yes,
Right, since
I guess
5 years
so,
for
yeah.
the design community. So I've known you as a friend and you were supportive when my magazine cutout came to be. Okay, and I'm really happy that you're doing well with Motiofixo. But here's the thing. For so long, what do you feel is missing in the creative industry?
What's missing? I think I wouldn't be so much negative on what's missing, but it's just about linking people, I guess. There's a lot of talented people out there, but they are not being linked to each other. I guess Malaysia is full of talented people, and there should be a platform like what this radio show is doing is actually try to promote design culture and try to find likewise people and gather them up. I mean that's the reason why we are all here, just to look at talents and try to gather them up. I think that is what we are trying to look at.
What would be the outcome from this link? We have this platform. What do you wish to see happening after this connection is built?
So
Collaboration,
we
I guess. Yeah.
Collaboration, and we can raise the bar. Trying to expose the Malaysian design scene in the global market. So that is very important.
So then it will not only be not only revolve around the creative industry, but also you're saying that designers have to move forward and go beyond just knowing how to design, but to learn about
network.
network and learn
and
about
also-
engineering and science, chemistry.
Yes.
Exactly.
I would say if you are a designer, you don't only read computer arts, I guess. You can read popular science, something that is out of the comfort. Because, if you go do things the way it should be traditionally, you become factory workers, you won't evolve. There's a lot of different industry, and we need to really, work together to produce hybrids, people that is.
But as
hybrid
far as
people.
Motiofixo, the way we treat our employees, the staffs, our designers especially, we help them. I mean, they have all the skills, the necessary skills to do any job that we give. But at the same time, it's our job to build their career path. So from a designer, they have to network around with other designers, and perhaps in the future, the career path that they are building towards something, So you don't become a graphic designer for the next 20 years. You should have this one goal that one day you'll become an art director or a creative director, perhaps, in the future.